Welcome. Let's settle for the details. Government is rejecting suggestions that the new legislative instrument on cement pricing is anti-business and will hurt a lot of manufacturing firms. It follows threats of job layoffs, cutting down on operations by cement manufacturers and product storage. This is coming at a time that the legislative instrument, which is currently before Parliament, will become law in 17 parliamentary working days. Professor Alex Dodo is Director General of the Ghana Standards Authority.
Worried by these statements, not by these developments.
Yeah, because he's stating the reality on the ground.
That is not a reality.
That
is not a reality.
He's a player. He's a manufacturer.
We have an industry that was never regulated. You begin to regulate, and players who have operated, calling the shots to the Ghanaian people, begin to present a different face. Doc Bishop stated something that why not last year, and this political, this
because we're an election year. That is the perception, Prof, that is an election year.
It's factually incorrect. I got a copy of the LI. The LI was laid, the 2480, to regulate cement for the first time in the history of Ghana. For the first time in the history of Ghana. The LI was gazetted on the 23rd of November, 2023. It came into force 22nd December, 2023. The committee, of which I chair, was inaugurated on the 8th of March, 2024. None of this could have been done last year. Indeed, the Ghana Standards Authority Act, the parent act upon which these allies draw their power, was only given presidential assent on the 30th of June, 2022. So these have been consequential to we having a law. I want us to be very factual because we are live on Joy, a very discerning station. We used to have one cement manufacturer. Yes. Gassem, we can mention the name. I mean,
that is the fact.
They've earned that right.
Yeah.
States, the Republic, had a relationship that most people thought Gassem was even government-owned, which is fine. Then we started having new entrants, some of which play by the ball rules, some which do not play by the rules. Companies were located at residential areas, and McCarthy Hill residents got in place. There were court cases, but there was no law.
Let's go on Zoom and speak with Apia Kusi Adomako, Director, West Africa Regional Center of CATS International. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Adomako. Are you worried that government has pressed ahead with this price control measure and has laid the legislative instruments before Parliament? Mr. Adomako, can you kindly unmute for me?
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to you and your viewers of Joy News, Ghana and worldwide. I think to start from, I am worried, and not only me who is worried. As a consumer advocate, I think you should be expecting me to support this ally. Whilst in the short term, this ally could help lower or bring down the prices of cement in the country, the long-term effect has a potential of causing issues for the cement market, which consumers in the long run could be worse off. Why am I saying this? You see, we find ourselves in a deregulated market whereby businesses come here, set their prices and compete on quality and on prices. Now that government wants to regulate the price of cement, what it means therefore is that potential businesses that want to come into the market will be scared of this action by the government, and so they may not come. And some of the current players in the industry, if they find out that they are not making profit as it should require of them, they also may decide to exit the market. And if care is not taken, we may end up going back to the days of a giant monopoly, which we all know what happened when the cement market in Ghana was a monopoly of a company which we all know their name. And I think it's a fact, that is Govt. And so I think that government should think again and withdraw the airline for the interest of the country and also for consumers as well as businesses.
But already we are seeing the manufacturers, making a call that they are going to cut down on production. What do you make of this? Do you think it's going to affect prices? What does it stand, or where does the consumer stand?
Yes, when quantity is reduced in the market, prices will go up. And this behavior of the manufacturers, to me, is also anti-competitive. And I think the minister, unfortunately, our honorable minister has gotten the problem wrong. The solution to what is happening in the cement market is not a price regulation, but rather a competition law that will seek to regulate the conduct of businesses in all the markets. You know what the industry players want to do by reducing quantity of cement that they can produce is it's more like a cartel behavior. And mind you, the regulation that the minister is bringing will not fix this this malady. What is required is the competition law. Fortunately, we have a competition draft bill at the Ministry of Trade and Industry, which has been there since 2007, which the Honorable KTM came to inherit it. I think the best that the minister could have done is to take the competition law to Parliament and get it passed, than rather take this small law that targets cement. And again, investors are looking to what is happening in Ghana, and those who want to enter the market in the near future may decide to also step back, and that could also affect our foreign direct investment. And so I think that the minister has gotten it wrong. And if I were the minister, I would humbly withdraw the LI and push through the competition and fair trade practices bill, which has been lying at the ministry for many years.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Adomako. Apia Kusi Adomako is West Africa Regional Director for CATS International. Moving on, the World Bank is set to release some $100 million fund to the Ghana Cocoa Board to support production. This is according to the Chief Executive Officer for Cocoa Board, Joseph Boahin Edu. According to him, the funds are meant to rehabilitate some overaged cocoa farms across the country to boost production. Speaking to Joy Business after he visited some farms in the northern parts of the central region, Mr. Boahin said a memorandum of understanding has been signed between the Ghana Cocoa Board, African Development Bank and the World Bank to see the disbursement of these funds soon.
Captation and then we leave it for the farmers alone. If you are generating only seedlings for farmers to come and then cut all these trees and plant on their own, they cannot. Even getting the planting materials, planting sackets alone. We went to Mr. Temaku's farm, 30 acres. If you cut 30 acres and you want the farmer to provide planting sackets for 30 acres within 1 year, he cannot. That's how, per the new program under the new dispensation, as we provide planting material. Planting sackets are free for the farmers, and then we also support them in terms of labor to do the planting. And our extension people, we've increased the extension staff number. It used to be just 400. They are now about 2,000. So instead of 1:3,000 farmers, now you have 1:600 farmers
across the country.
So what?
Across the country.
Across the country. We used to be 1:3,000. FAO is 1:500. That's the standard. Now we've come to 1:600. under this government, which is very good. That's why, the farmers are praising our extension officers because now extension has come very close to the farmers.
Are you doing this free of charge to the farmers to rehabilitate them?
Oh yes, yes, everything is free. Everything is free.
Now, Ghana's horticulture industry is faced with myriads of challenges, which include regulations, market access, technology, innovation, sustainable farming practices, you name them. But the big question is, how do we navigate these hurdles to harness the full potential of the industry and its expected contribution to the economy? Joining me in studio is Council Member of Federation of Association of Ghanaian Exporters, Christine Etinam Atenge, to help us iron out these challenges in the sector and the way forward. Hi, Christine. Thank you for joining us. Give us a sense of what the industry looks like.
The industry is quite broad. The diversity in the industry includes vegetable and fruit sellers, producers and sellers. We have a whole value chain in that regard, the flower people. So mostly when you talk about horticulture, people assume you're just talking about flowers. However, the industry is quite broad, and then there are a lot of challenges, but we're doing well. Because looking at GEPA's data, exports of 2022 and 2023 exceeded $400 million. So there's a lot of strides going on. However, there are a few challenges, like land tenure system. We have to battle with sand winners and other developers for the land. Also, there are issues with policy and just standards. So we are looking to address all those issues, and we have a lot of policies in place in terms of working together with the industry experts and stakeholders, and also advocacy to deal with some of these policies.
So how far have you come in this,
endeavor?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. So we have a lot of producers or horticulture experts are part of associations, which we are always talking about. Like for FAGE is the mother association of over 22 huge associations who are also like huge associations for other smaller associations. We have trainings, we have engagement with embassies. We go for international fairs to see what they're going on. We are bringing markets to Ghana. And we are hoping that with this horticulture expo, we expose not just Ghana to the international market from our home base, but also the locals should also know about what we're doing as a sector.
Right, so the Ghana Expo was instituted to help address some of these challenges. Can you tell us more about it, when it will be happening, who can participate, how one can participate?
So the expo is happening 9th to 11th, that's just next Tuesday. There will be a lot of engagement, there will be exhibitions, there will be conferences, seminars, and workshops for their different days and times. A lot of people can come if you're just curious, especially students, exporters, farmers, and then there are also input dealers. Anyone along the horticultural value chain, this program is for you. The fair is for you to see what engagement we have available. And also there will be international guests. As we go for international fairs, they are also coming to our fair. So it's a good opportunity to network and then put certain things in the right perspective.
So, sorry, where is it happening at?
The conference center, the Dome.
Conference center,
yes.
Okay, time?
On the 9th to 11th, it starts from 8 a.m. all throughout the day. So it ends at 5 p.m.
Oh, so how do you plan, do you believe this is a platform for local manufacturers or producers to also connect with international brands to be able to expand our exports onto the international market? Definitely.
That's the whole point of this program, is for people, local stakeholders, that includes anyone along the horticultural value chain, to be able to interact with international people. What happens usually is, or has been the norm, is that we go for the fairs outside the country, like Fruit Logistica, Fruit Attraction, and all those international fairs. Now we are holding our own international fair so that they come and see what we have, the diversity that we are offering and also the quality that we are offering so that we can export more, which is basically the theme of the program.
So for someone sitting at home, what should be the motivation to come?
Oh, please come, because because when you do come, you're going to be exposed to as I said, the diversity. You'll be amazed what our local producers and our farmers are doing. You'll be amazed what entrepreneurs have come up with in terms of innovation, value addition, not just selling raw products. You also you come because you are going to interact firsthand with input dealers. Sometimes it's difficult to find quality input. So you're coming to see certified input dealers, liaise and build future connections and networks. And also there's also market. We can trade amongst ourselves. And then you meet the international buyers. You can have discussions with regards to export and quality standard and what the needs are and what kind of markets are available. So it's a program where we interact with each other. We are exposing ourselves so that they see us and then we also see them. So it's a two-way street.
Right. Thank you very much, Christine, for highlighting the importance of the Ghana Expo. The Ghana Horticulture Expo. You're still watching Business Live with me, Emma Davis. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more. Welcome. Nigeria has been selected to host the headquarters of the newly established $5 billion Africa Energy Bank. The decision was taken after a thorough technical inspection by the African Petroleum Producers Organization and Afrexim Bank, which jointly promote the African Energy Bank. Let's get on Zoom and speak with energy strategist Dr. Yusuf Suleimana about what this establishment of the bank will mean to African countries like Ghana in our quest to transition our energy process into clean and renewable energy. Thank you very much, Dr. Suleimana, for joining us. Your quick thoughts about Nigeria winning Ghana over this contract.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you, Emma, and to your cherished viewers and listeners in Ghana across the globe. So it's very interesting. I would have wished that, as a Ghanaian, that Ghana would have been the country to select to champion this huge project. Nevertheless, Nigeria, they are big brothers. And bear in mind, it was a tough competition. Ghana actually, came up strongly, and at the end of the day, it was closely contested between Ghana and Nigeria. And if you look at the other players like Algeria, South Africa, and then the other big players, I think Nigeria and Ghana, they were the lead contenders. However, if you notice, Nigeria, they had a little bit edge over Ghana in terms of the numbers, the resource numbers. We are talking about Nigeria, boasting around millions of oil production. They are doing 1.5 to 2 million on a good day before they could do like 3. Ghana is just doing some thousands of barrels. I mean, we are in the early thousands of barrels, hundreds of thousands of barrels. So yes, Nigeria strategically they are placed. Now, what is the importance of this particular institution? I think it's very huge, and you've stated it clearly. We are moving into a terrain we call capital discipline. You will notice that a lot is not coming into the world of hydrocarbon because of the interest with respect to competing investment, where renewables are competing for the same amount of resources. So Africa, if you notice over the couple of years, Ghana not an exception, we've not had investment coming to our oil fields, simply because there's this kind of competing investment. So such a bank, if African continent is able to have such a bank, to be able to champion their own investment, I think it's going to be huge. And I think it's positive in a way that we're not going to have money coming from any other country. And so if Africa should have that huge capital pool, and for instance, coming within our sub-region, West Africa, I think it's positive, and we should celebrate with Nigeria. And I think that bank will do a lot of wonders if it should set up to do what it's supposed to do. Especially, it will guarantee Africans to be able to champion what we call just energy transition, or to transition on their own pace. Because I can tell you, Emma, nobody will give you money in this day and age to invest into the world of hydrocarbon. It's going to be very difficult. But if Africans can galvanize their own resources, have this capital pool, and $5 billion is not a small thing, to start with as a seed capital. So yes, it's a positive move. We only encourage that. And so Nigeria had the edge because they had the numbers. Ghana, of course, I was clamoring for our stability in terms of our political climate, atmosphere, but it didn't help us. Of course, we have to celebrate with Nigeria, and it's a good thing for Africa as a whole.
But then let's narrow it down, Doc. How does Ghana take advantage of this to improve our energy sector?
Yeah, so the good news is I think we are within the same sector. Ghana is same West African, within the same region in West Africa. And so I believe in Ghana and Nigeria, our similarity, that's why I say they are big brothers. We have a lot of things in common. In Nigeria, they have taken giant steps, and people didn't notice that. When the multinationals were pulling out from their shores, I think Nigeria, they had their locals or their indigenes taking massive steps to take advantage of some of the blocks within Nigeria. And if you notice also, we are talking about one of the largest single train globally being set up in Nigeria in a refinery. And a lot of refineries are coming out to Nigeria. So I think Nigeria was strategically placed. How do Ghana benefit? Remember, Emma, we are headquartered, AFTAC is headquartered in Ghana, as a matter of fact. So with AFTAC headquartered in Ghana, we are strategically placed, to be able to take advantage of such an investment when it comes to Nigeria. Though I think Nigeria is going to be huge, it's going to be big gain, because having a pool, a capital such as 5 billion within your shores as a capital pool, though it is not your own money, but so far as it is within your shores, it builds up your FID in terms of, let's say, foreign direct investment of sort. But Ghana can benefit in a way because of the position of AFTAC, and if you should let AFTAC work and work well, I think Ghana will strategically benefit in this kind of investment, Emma.
Right. So any other thing, any advice to government on, how to properly leverage on this new African Energy Bank?
Yeah, so what I would recommend is the fact that, we are entering into a new age, into a new era, and we have seen it coming. We've said it a long time ago, and we've seen it coming, unfolding. If you notice Ghana, we have done a lot of road shows, multiplicity of them. And you notice that we didn't have anything coming out of that. GMPC championed a lot of road shows just to get investment into our sector. We didn't have anything coming out of that. So what I want to say is that Ghana, we have a lot of projects that are coming up. The voting basin is a potential project that is coming up. What we need to do is to make our project bankable. For instance, within the upstream, especially the voting basin, we have to be able to move from the 2D to 3D and churn out data that is credible. Because I can tell you, if the money sits, the $5 billion sits in Nigeria, closer to us, and we don't have bankable projects, we may not still be able to.
Right. Thank you very much, Dr. Yusuf Sulemana. He is an energy strategist. And that's how we end Business Live. But up next is Beyond the Numbers